This story is from NBC News. House Republicans hit the brakes on town halls after blowback over Trump's cuts. House Republicans are becoming weary and wary of in-person town hall meetings after a number of lawmakers have faced hometown crowds angry about the Trump administration's push to slash government programs and staffing.
Fuck you.
Party leaders suggest that if lawmakers feel the need to hold such events, they do teletown halls, or at least vet, this part I thought was incredible, or at least vet the attendees to avoid scenes that become viral clips, according to GOP sources. A GOP aide said House Republican leaders are urging lawmakers to stop engaging in them altogether.
Dude, these fucking cowards.
Yep.
You run on all this shit. You say, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. We're going to do this whole MAGA thing. Look at us go. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then you get in there and you start doing it. And then everybody's like, fucking, I didn't want this.
Yeah, man.
And now where are you? You're fucking hiding. You won't even do a fuck. You're such a coward. You're like, I'm going to hide behind a telephone so I can like hold it away from my ear when you're screaming at me.
Or I'm going to like pre-select all the people so it's nothing but sycophants.
Sure, yeah.
Like that's not a town hall.
No.
Yeah, like here's what's incredible. These guys are supposed to be working for their constituents.
Sure, yeah.
And if all your constituents hate the things you're doing, you should do different stuff. And if you're not willing to think about it that way, doesn't it tell you who they're really working for?
Yeah.
So like if I'm not able, if I'm as an elected representative and I'm like, God, everybody that put me into power that I'm supposed to represent, they all fucking hate all the stuff I'm doing. Well, then you're just unilaterally doing the wrong shit.
Yeah.
But they're doing the wrong shit because their masters that they really serve are the fucking billionaire oligarch class.
Yes.
That's why they're doing all of this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get a chance to see these people come in and they are getting fucking grilled. And then they'll ask a question, a very simple question, right? I saw one the other day because they made a rule. They changed something like how a person's name, because they wanted to pass something in the House. And it was like anybody who can't produce a birth certificate or a passport to vote, like you can't vote, and your name has to match. And that can really fuck over people who took the last name of their partner when they get married, right? So if you don't have a passport with that name on it, and some people don't, like a lot of people don't. Yeah. They said that was something like in the millions, right?
I think I read the same thing, 69 million
people
women.
Don't have the same name. And that doesn't include, that's just women, right? That doesn't include anybody else who changed their name because of other reasons. Yeah. And then it also doesn't, and that can include trans people, include everybody, right? All these different people that get now self-selected out of the voting pool. And this person asks a very pointed question at the person who's in their town hall. I think it was in Iowa or something like that. And they just had no answer. And immediately it was boos. It was all boos.
Good.
As soon as they started talking, they started to be like, well, I trust President Trump. And it was just like, boo. I loved it.
Look, the thing is, like, if they gut all the services that the people, like, the thing about a lot of these federal services is that the people like you and I, we're fortunate enough to engage less of these services than a lot of the people that are really at risk and at need. And those people tend to be in red states in greater numbers than in blue states, right? So that's just how the demographics play out. Like, if you're in Kentucky, that state is a poor state. That state needs access to more resources than Massachusetts, for instance, right? That's just a fucking truth. That's an economic demographic truth. They're fucking their own people. They're fucking the people in their own party harder than everybody else. Like, and these people at some point, they're all going to eat that shit. And they all think, they've all been taught through all of this voting and all of this like campaigning that no, we're going to hurt the poor browns. We're not going to hurt the poor whites. Mm-hmm. You guys are safe. We'll take good care of you. Vote me in. If you're white, you're safe. If you're white, you're safe. They alluded to it and hinted at it and winky-faced at it. But that's not how any of these programs work. These programs are agnostic to race. So these guys are going to get burned. All these fucking dumbass, shitheel, racist, white dipshits that put Trump, et cetera, into power, they're the ones that are going to eat shit on it, and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
They're starting to know it.
They're starting to learn it. And I think, you touch on something there with those services, right? if they go through and they start gutting all these different departments, and they gut department after department after department, and then they change the rules on how you can vote, because now you need to have the same name.
Yeah.
Now you have to have the same passport, and the passport services take way too long to get. It takes 6 months to get your passport now instead of 4 weeks or whatever. All these different services. Now I got to go in, and what happens if they create like a voter ID law? Right. Now you've got to go into certain places, like especially if it's like a federal ID that they create somehow. Now, what if they destaff that thing? Now I know that there's some state things that can pick up the slack, but what if it's a federal office that is handling this stuff? It could be severely limited by what they're doing with Doge. So now you're in this fucking bind as a person who doesn't have this. You don't have the same rights anymore.
Yeah,
and they're fine with that. And they've been fine with that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that this is happening. And what I love too is we talked about this a couple weeks ago, Tom. We talked about, how there's going to be a group of people out there who they're going to know, and they're going to finally find out, right? The leopard's going to eat their face. They're going to find out, and they're going to be like, fuck, I was fucked over. We need to try to make sure we mention those people all the time. Be like, no, they fucked you over. Yeah, no, come on over here. They fucked you over. Come on over here.
Yep.
And just keep on pointing out every time they fuck their constituencies over. Because 2020 could be a bloodbath if we have midterms.
Oh my God. Yeah. 100%. The thing is, like,
you missed the if we have midterms.
If we have midterms. Oh, shit, you're right. I still think we might.
Maybe. We'll see.
We might maybe have midterms. Yeah. I do want to say, though, the disenfranchisement is the point.
Yeah.
It was always the point.
It was always the point. They sold their key core constituency that they would only disenfranchise the not yous. Yeah.
Right? But the point is to disenfranchise everybody other than an elite class of rich motherfuckers who will continue to vote for themselves. That's the point. The point is to disenfranchise as many, just keep pulling them out. Just keep disenfranchising them until the only people that have any rights left in this country are rich white guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.